Uh, yes, long time when I make a vlog, I was supposed to do a whole vlog on the Cuban regime saga. Alright, so it is estimated that in 2022, the Cuban government got 4.9 million, 4.9 billion US dollars in exported labor, right? But you know, Cuba have some of the best doctors, right? In Jamaica. But do you think Cuba need a regime change? For one, let us ask ourselves these questions, right? No. When Cuban doctors come to Jamaica, do they retain all of their salaries? Well, the answer to that is no. 75%, 75 to 90% of their salary goes back to the regime in Cuba. All right? Doctors in Cuba, they're paid $22 a month, 22 US dollars a month for their salary. So if you have a relative in Miami who can make you get $50 a week in a Cuba, it simply means that you will get more money than the doctor. You understand? Because $22 a month the doctor I get. Secondly, if the doctors are coming to Jamaica and their passport are not given to them, they have not retained their passport, wouldn't that be equal to human trafficking? Because according to the TIP, the Traffic in Person Act, and it's an international law as well, it says that you are human trafficking if you coerce, force, traffic, like transport someone, you are human trafficking. So if you force, coerce, and transport someone under the act, it says you are trafficking. So if Jamaica send them back home, it simply means that Jamaica follow international law because trafficking means forced labor, you're coerced, and you also get transported. Now let us ask ourselves this question, right? Are Cubans, the Cuban doctors in Jamaica, are they allowed to travel? Are they allowed to travel outside of the country when they get here? Are they allowed to bring their family here? Alright. Now, what happens if a Cuban doctor comes to Jamaica on a 5-year contract and after the 5 years the Cuban doctor doesn't go back to Cuba within 2 years? Then that person is not considered to be protected under the Cuban law anymore, which means that their property can be confiscated because the Cuban government say you desert them. So your property will be confiscated if you did not return to Cuba after your 5-year contract or whatever. Your term contract is up within 2 years after the contract. So is that fair? No. Are you in agreement with the invasion of US invading Cuba to free the people? Because look at this. There is no medicine in Cuba. There's no medicine in Cuba. You can go on the shelves in Cuba and there's no pressure pills. There's no pain tablet. You name it. The pharmacies are basically empty. The people are suffering. Do they need a regime change? I think they need a regime change. I tell you one story. One of my friends, she's a lecturer. She went to Cuba on vacation. And she was speaking to another man on the road doing something. I think he was selling jelly coconuts or something. And the man in a cut up pants. Now my friend is a lecturer. And my friend went there on a vacation. And when she started speaking to the man had 2 PhD. She just have here 1 PhD. The man has 2. PhD. So the people in Cuba, they're very educated, but they're not connected to the world, and they're not privy to the money, and they're not privy to internet, they're not privy to luxurious life, they're not privy to good jobs, right? No, the people in Cuba, they're having problem getting good health care. So you're so fixated on sending out doctors to other people, but your people are suffering. Make that make sense? No, if you are supposed to leave one state in Cuba to go to another state, you have to get permission from the government. So it's not like you could live in New York and just drive across the border to Connecticut. No, you have to get permission. Not like you could live in St. James and drive across the border to Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Catherine, Kingston freely. No, because the government says that you'll assemble one place and cause chaos, right? So they're doing everything to suppress the people. A regime like that, what do you think? A regime like that should still stand with the oligarchs collecting all the money and the people suffering? What are your thoughts on that? Last but not least, people, you as a big doctor, you come to Jamaica, but you under curfew. You would have feel to stay under curfew. You would alright to be under curfew and you're a big man. You ever see no Cuban doctor with nobody know where you go nowhere by themselves? Yeah, man. What's your thought? You still think the Cuban them should be left alone? Because the whole idea of communism and Marxism is to be self-sufficient. You choose your path. So if it make people them suffer, why not free them?